Welcome back to McLean's TV here with me, Adrian Logan, and this week it's looking for a treble on a treble. Now, it's basically the Irish News featured ad with McLean's. Each week we try and pick out a treble. So I've got the last 2 weeks correct, 2 trebles in a row, and I'm looking for a treble, a thee treble in 3 weeks. Hard a whack. We've been doing this from mid-April. And by our reckoning, if you'd have put a tenner on each week with Logie's ads, with McLean's, the special each week, and there's also a point or two added by the big wigs at McLean's, very, very generous people. You'd have been £205 in front, because we've been doing it for 28 weeks, and in that 28 weeks with a 16 to 1, a 14 to 1, an 8 to 1, a 5 to 1 and an 11 to 2. This week we're getting the very generous odds of 5 to 1, 3 games in the Premiership. Have a wee jig into the Irish News, see what you think, and also check out with McLean's, both in the shops and on the websites. First up, Arsenal against Hull. There's no point talking about that. Arsenal are just too good. Hull, they got a result in Palace last time out, but that was after 5 defeats in a row. I just don't think Hull have enough, particularly you've got Sanchez playing for Arsenal. I think even Arsenal will win that game. Interesting, 2 wee queer ones in here now. Newcastle against Leicester. Leicester doing very well in the Premiership. One of the new boys. Newcastle, like Burnley, the only 2 sides in the Premierships who have yet to win a game at home. So why pick them? It gets worse when you hear this here. Newcastle won win their last 15 league games. Only 7 points out of a possible 45. Why would they pick Newcastle? Well, in the last 2 games they were 2-0 down in both games, fought back to 2-2, beginning to score goals. And listen to this, in their last 8 games against Leicester, they're unbeaten. In the last 4 games at home to Leicester at St James's Park, they've won all those games. I think fortune's going to turn from that. I think they're going to get their first Premiership League game, or their first Premiership League win of the season in that one. And finally, another wee one, Southampton against Sunderland. Southampton, they've got the player of the month with Graziano Pelle, and of course their manager, Ronald Koeman. They're third in the table. They were beaten by Spurs last time out. Bit of a bogey team, Sunderland. Listen to this. 7 games now for Sunderland unbeaten against Southampton. Big week too, of course, for John O'Shea, new contract, 100 caps for the Republic, and of course he'll be playing for Sunderland as well. He got the goal against Germany, so massive week for him. But can he hold out in defence against Southampton? The Southampton team, who I feel are particularly good. Pele, that Graziano, he scored his debut goal for Italy against Malta midweek in the European qualifying. They have the best defence in the league, Southampton. And the thing that clinches it for me, they're unbeaten at home since April. Unbeaten at home since April. I don't think Sunderland are going to beat them. As a matter of fact, I think Southampton are going to get their 3rd win in a row at home this season. There's the treble. Generous offers, a wee extra point as well from McLean's. 5 to 1. It's in the Irish News. Get on it. Remember, if you'd have stuck with Logie and McLean's, you'd have been over £200 richer.